Lake Vermilion is a truly awesome fishery, probably mostly because of its diversity. It's a 42,000 acre lake with roughly 380 islands, and it's really different one end to the other. You have the east side, which is much larger, wide open, and it's more of a rocky, sandy habitat. The two ends of the lake also differ in their forage base and what the fish key in on. The west end with all the weeds and the shallow soft bottom have a lot of panfish, the muskies and the walleyes and bass key in on. The east end is a lot more cisco driven. You still have some perch around the weedy areas, but it's more cisco and crawfish driven. Both ends of the lake are phenomenal for muskies, but the two ends of the lake definitely are known for different things with walleyes. The west end of the lake is known for its size and its trophy potential, and the east end is known more for its eater-sized fish. The west end of the lake also has tremendous largemouth bass fishing. Again, the weedy, more traditional largemouth bass habitat and the smallmouth bass kind of range the whole lake, but the bigger smallmouth bass are on the east end of the lake.
Fabulous smallmouth bass fishery, no question about it.
The east end is kind of better known for its perch, and then the west end is known for more of its crappies and its bluegills. But it truly is a great place to go because you can target multiple species in a day. You'll never get blown off the lake. You can always hide from the wind, and you can catch a variety of fish in a variety of ways.
I happen to be fishing today with probably the greatest muskie fisherman of my generation, our generation I should say, and this is what we're fishing for. Crappies. We are on beautiful Lake Vermilion, and Luke Ronnestrand and I are up here today pounding on some fall crappies. Just a beautiful day to be out here enjoying the fall in northern Minnesota, man oh man. So enjoy some beautiful fall crappies here on Lake Vermilion.
Oh, I got one.
Oh, look at this guy.
Crappie on. They're great fish up here.
So that's a nice one.
Yeah. God, that one just choked it. Look at that. That is just gone. There you go.
Another one. All right, it's getting to be one of those things where time to get with the time and put on a jig.
What color jig?
Pink jig.
Boat flip.
Ooh,
that's a nicer one.
That's a beauty, man. Just a 16th ounce jig, as basic as it gets for crappies, right? We're just drifting this big flat. I mean, they're just scattered about, but.
And those are cool looking crappies. You were talking about how they almost have like a digital camo color to them.
They definitely do.
And a very lucky crappie going back in the lake.
Luke, you've been kicking butt on plastic.
Wait, what color plastic?
Pink plastic. I made fun of Luke because I told him that crappies up here should be about like the grouse up here, not real bright. And he said, well, do you have any pink lures? And I was like, oh, really? It's got to be pink? He's like, yeah, man. And guess how many I've caught? 0. Guess how many he's caught? A lot more than me.
Oh, there we go.
A nice one. Feels like a nice one anyway, Luke. Boy, that is something. I mean, that's one of the things that it is always so helpful to have multiple anglers in the boat. I am so confident throwing an X-Rap and like a little Countdown Elite like hard baits for crappies. And so I just don't fish plastics all that often, and then having Luke in the back just go bang, 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 you know? That's really cool.
That's a beautiful fish.
Yeah, really nice fish. Again, just great eater-sized crappies. And I know this lake has got some really big fish in it too. Of course, Lake Vermilion has big everything, but right now, it's just super fun just casting and catching. So it's one of those days when you look at the weather. Luke and I both love muskie fishing, and it's not exactly ideal muskie conditions. So getting a little action is pretty sweet. Right, this area we're fishing right now, it's just a big flat, and using side imaging, we're able to see, you know, that there's crappies all over here, but it's not like a lot of times in the fall where you're going to see, you know, schools of, you know, maybe 20 to a couple hundred fish. It's more like 2 fish here, 4 fish there. And so we're just, you know, fan casting this entire area, just making a big drift through the zone. And, you know, in this early fall time, there can be, of course, fish out in the deeper basins, those deeper mud basins. They can be hanging on some of the weed edges or, ooh, oh, I just missed another one, trees. But they can also still be spread out on these flats. And that's one area that I've seen crappies all over the place use that a lot of people overlook is these shallow weed flats. You just get in your head that the crappies, even bluegills and bass too, that, you know, as the water starts to cool, those fish are gonna vacate those, ooh, Luke's on, those shallow weed beds, and they're gonna start to go out into the deeper areas. But I'm telling you, late into fall, fish will use these shallow weed flats. And that's a nice fish. We almost had a double, Luke. Ooh, they're starting to get a little better.
And look at that.
They are just choking it, dude. That is unbelievable. Holy crap.
Yeah, the sun's getting a little bit higher up. We woke up to what, 28 degrees this morning?
First cold morning I felt this year.
And fishing was a little slow to start. That thing is just way down. Another
Good job.
beautiful Lake Vermilion crappie. And they do get bigger than that, believe it or not.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, not a big one, but it is a crappie nonetheless. This is unusual. Usually Luke and I are hoping we can catch one fish in like 3 days. Now we're catching like fish after fish. It's really good. Oh, and it's a double.
Taking some drag.
Ooh. Oh yeah. Yeah, nice fish.
Just another nice one. I don't get this. What's this bit about like catching lots of fish in a day?
Right, yeah, it's great. Funny how there's those pockets, like it definitely pays off. If you hook one, like you should throw it right to that area because that's where they are. Rather than just kind of keep casting everywhere. It's like, that's where they are. I threw right into where Luke was and I dumped one. Another one, look at you. All right, where's your little honey hole at here, dude?
Just right out in front of you.
Right out in front of me, okay.
These are all the same size. These are all great.
Yeah.
Great fish. These are super fun rods to catch them with too.
That one choked it.
Whoa,
And that's a
little
double.
better. Oh, double.
I just needed to know exactly where to cast. A wonderful guide back here showed me the way. Luke was commenting on the rod, so this is my favorite power and action for crappie fishing just because I think it's so versatile. We're both fishing with a 7-foot light power, extra fast action, and it just does an amazing job of throwing, little 16th ounce jigs like this. You want to come up here, Luke, and show off your crappie? To little X-straps, little crankbaits. Bam, hold them way out. There you go,
This is how you make your crappie look huge.
Perfect. Awesome, let's get those guys back. That extra fast tip is really, really nice. It just allows you to really pitch the baits far, but then if you do want to fish like a jerk bait or something like that, you can still get the bait to hunt because it's not flexing so far down. That's always the problem with panfish rods. If you get like an ultralight where the rod is just flexing through the whole length of the blank and you just can't impart good action into the bait. So I like that really extra fast tip, and then you'll notice like when we're setting the hook, we're both just kind of reeling and pulling, and the hooks find themselves just seated perfectly. And I'm fishing with the Legend Elite now, but this power and action is available in their panfish series, in the Avid panfish style as well, and it's just a super versatile, really versatile rod. I love it. Oh, there we go. Ooh, that is a nice one.
Oh, that is a good fish.
Holy. Oh man, look at this. This is what we came up here to catch.
Whoa.
Oh, look at this. Hello. This is like getting a largemouth here. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That is a beautiful big crappie. Right on, man. That is super cool. And we're catching them right now. We tried a few different presentations, including hard baits, but swimming a jig. And if you are a crappie fisherman, I am telling you, this is one of the most versatile presentations and probably accounts for more crappies than anything else. And being good at this will just simply make you a better crappie fisherman. So kind of walk through, after I let this fish go, how to swim a jig for crappies. It might seem simple, but I see a lot of people struggle with it, and it's all about knowing where the bait is in the water column. Okay, so there's a number of variables that'll influence how deep or the fall rate of your jig. Of course, the first thing is the weight of the jig. And then another variable will be the type of plastic you're fishing. I'm fishing a tube right now, and this is a really slender profile, and it's got a really nice glide to the bait. And then of course, line diameter is the other thing. So a good way to approach this is just kind of drop it over the side and on slack line to see how fast it falls. And then kind of look at it, how it's falling, if you were just kind of dragging the bait. And so you always want to be above the crappies. That's the big deal. So we're fishing in like 5 feet here. So I'm not letting the bait fall at all. I'm letting it hit the water, and I'm keeping my rod angle really high and just kind of slowly reeling. And every once in a while I'll let the bait fall, but as soon as I let it just drop a little bit, I had a bite right there. But keeping that rod angle really high, and I don't want to be below the fish. You can be fishing around tons of crappies, and if you're below them, you're not going to get bit. So the biggest mistake people are making often is fishing below the fish. So those are the factors that really influence how the bait is moving in the water and where it is specifically in the water column. Oh, and I had another one. Luke's on. Were you back there taking notes, Luke?
Absolutely. At least you can articulate what you're doing.
You've seen that with all different types of fishing situations, right? How important it is to manage or know where that bait is.
Yeah, and we're fishing two different styles of baits. You're using a tube, like a slender profile, falls, kind of glides and falls a little bit quicker, and I'm using the Kamikaze Swim On. It's kind of a flat, almost like crayfish bug imitator. And I have this, again, rigged up flat. Would you stop letting your crappies interrupt, or have your crappies interrupt me?
Yeah, that is an amazing profile, Luke. Sorry to interrupt, but I got another big one here. Yeah, we're talking about, you know, the shape and profile baits and how it swims in the water for crappies, but it's not just crappies, it's really any type of fish. So I'll let Luke get back to it, try to let this one go. This is getting to be hammer time. This is fun, really fun.
Before I was so rudely interrupted, I have this Swim On just rigged flat. It's kind of got the two almost like crawfish appendages, claws. And again, this is just kind of a real flat swimming action, where the tube and how Jeremy's fishing is just kind of more of a gliding through the water. But both seem to be working really well today.
This is just a 16th ounce. It's a VMC Moon Eye jig, super versatile jig. And then I've just got an 1.5 inch. Oh, Luke's on again. We're just pounding now. Oh, look at that guy. Oh, hello.
Did you see that little run?
Man, that was cool.
Super cool. This almost feels like it could be a different species.
Ooh.
But I think it is just a crappie. Oh yeah.
Nice crappie, Luke.
And these little 1,000 size fuegos are so much fun to catch these on. And like Jerry was saying, I'm a musky guy, so I don't get a chance to do this all that often. So using this little rod and reel has just been an absolute treat, but I am honestly blown away by how far I can cast this 16th ounce jig and plastic.
One last thing I want to mention when it comes to the rod and reel setup. Luke talked about the reel, mentioned the rod, but the line is a big part of this, and this is that Suffix Revolve. It's a new line. It's very similar to nano braid, so I've been a huge fan of the nano braid for years. I just thought it was the most revolutionary thing ever to hit pan fishing, to allow you to throw little baits long distances. And on this one, I've got that high vis green, which is really great for seeing those crappies bite. And then I'm just tying an Albright knot here to a piece of 6-pound Suffix Advanced fluorocarbon on here. The 6-pound Revolve is really a sweet line for doing this, and we can throw these little baits just a mile.
Making really long casts seem to be really important. The fish seem to be 60 to 80 feet away from the boat, not wanting to come much closer. And this Daiwa Fuego has a really cool long cast spool design. With that 6-pound braid, you can cast this little 16th ounce jig and plastic. It seems like you're throwing it out there 40 yards.
Oh, I'm on. Another one here.
Ooh, nice looking fish.
Yeah, it is a nice looking fish. Cool. I'm gonna spot lock us here. Oh, as big as I thought. When they open their mouth, they just look great. I'm actually not spot locking, I'm taloning. So having the option for anchoring both from the back and from the front is such a big deal. I get asked all the time when you're going to a boat access or whatever, people are like, oh, what do you think of that shallow water anchor in the back there? And it's a piece of equipment that I use every single time I'm on the water, launching and loading. If I'm, docking, just leaving the boat docked at night, it's always down. And then for situations like this in shallow water, knowing that we want to cast this way and I'm not having to swing the boat all the way back around and then both fish off the bow, we can just talon in the back. I can use the trolling motor to swing us forward, and we both get this great spread where we can cast the whole area. So it's really an awesome piece of equipment for boat control, especially when you're fishing shallow water.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, see? That's what we call a nice relaxing day on the water.
This is how you're supposed to crappie fish, right?
That's a good time, man. That's a really good
It really is.
That thump is just such a great feeling.
I get why people like it so much.
Yeah. Everybody loves catching fish when they're just choking baits like that. It's really cool. Forward-facing sonar is all the rage in sonar technology right now, for good reason. It really does open up a whole new windows of opportunity that we never had available before. However, side imaging is still a tool that comes into play so often, and this is one of those great situations where side imaging is so incredibly important. Now, I have side imaging on the back of the boat, which I use all the time for looking at the different types of bottom, of course also for finding fish, but in a situation like this, when we're in a shallow, muddy area, having the side imaging transducer on the trolling motor to me is amazing. So I'm actually able to look out and see where these fish are positioned, and they're not necessarily visible with live imaging because they're just like this far off the bottom in 5 feet. So it's really hard to distinguish what the fish are with forward-facing sonar, but with side imaging I get that separation, so I'm able to see those white lines and then the black shadows behind it, and to me it's just an incredibly powerful tool. So I use the side imaging on the bow all the time, and many of the fish we've caught today, I'll be looking through and be like, oh yeah, Luke, if we look right over there 40 to 80 feet away, there's a school of crappies, and that's the best tool that we've got in the boat right now to be able to pinpoint where those schools of fish are. Oh. Ooh, Luke, I'm liking it.
Yeah, that one's, the rod looks a little different.
Oh, yeah.
It's a huge one.
It is a giant one, yeah. Cool. That is a sweet, holy cow. That's a magnum. Wow, yeah, man, that is sweet. Look at the size of that fish. That is a giant crappie. Lake Vermilion is, of course, a multi-species heaven. It's of course famous for muskies and walleyes, smallmouth, largemouth, but man, the panfish up here are quite remarkable too. This has been an awesome day, Luke. Pounding on big crappies. I mean, it is really one after the other. What a remarkable fishery. Beautiful day to spend up here in a beautiful place. Look at that.
I just read an interesting article about music in a Decision magazine. This is a Billy Graham publication. Let me read it to you, a snippet of it. Recent studies have shown the power of music over us is not purely psychological, but it's also physiological. Singing along with others to beloved songs cause the brain to secrete a chemical, oxytocin, which is a natural occurring hormone, creating a warm sensation of bonding, unity, and security, making us feel all cuddly toward our children and others we love. It also infuses us with feelings of spiritual awe and can alleviate chronic pain, disability, and can be used as treatment for autism and stabilization of Alzheimer's symptoms that have been recently talked about in our magazine. But we all know music. We all have favorite music, favorite types of music. Music is an incredibly powerful thing. Pretty much every church everywhere opens their service with some form of what is called praise and worship. Yeah, you know, and their music all kind of different levels. And music touches people's lives. Much of it is so good, it's so uplifting, it's entertaining. You get a lot out of it. And there's some of it, at least in my opinion, this is my opinion, and everybody can share an opinion. Some of it, I guess it comes under the heading of music, but when you listen to the words and see the spirit behind it, I don't know how anybody can enjoy it, but that's just me, my opinion. But it doesn't change the fact that music impacts people's lives in so many ways. Most people in a positive way. It is uplifting, reassuring, gives you peace, comfort, joy. There's a spiritual element that is so incredibly powerful in music. That's why churches all over the country have music ministries. Music, love it. Everybody has their own favorite kind of music. Mine, by the way, happens to be a lot of it is country western. You probably found that interesting. The other part of it is jazz. That's just me. Hey, I just wanted to share that with you. Music is here. In our television shows, we have music tracks that can take a show from what I would say being an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10, and the music track will take it to a 10. It's that subtle. Many of you don't even know that that music track is there. That's how it works. Your spirit is hearing this thing in many cases, and you don't even know what's going into you. Hey, just something to think about today. Hey, from all of us here at The Edge, you have a good fishing season. We'll see you on the water.
Closed captioning is provided by Smooth Moves, adjustable boat seat suspensions for a smoother ride. This segment is brought to you by Big Bite Baits, designed to bring the big bite to your line.
This boat is rigged up about as nice.
Easy to use, and it flat out works.
It's a must-have when you're talking about big waves. Well, these trout are so darn tough.
Incredible 11-year warranty.
So that was on a number 8 Shad Rap.
Your style of boat control is really key.
One that was there from the very beginning.
You want to be able to see in the water. The adventure begins.
We are loaded for bear. We got
You know,
bites.
there's so many different ways to fish for walleye. Dependability and efficiency.
Simple, fast, and easy.
The best rods on the planet. They like to eat when you're throwing the right thing.
You don't have all bluebird flat calm days.
Just a perfect eating size fish. See, that's what I'm talking about, these Daiwa drags.
We got walleye stuff, we got crappie stuff, we got pike stuff.